Hello and welcome to History's a Blast. Back in September of this year, it's November now, we took a 2-week camping trip across northern Ohio to PutinBay in the southwestern corner of Lake Erie. And PutinBay was the scene of the Battle of Lake Erie fought by Commodore Perry, the famous naval slogans, "We have met the enemy and they are ours," and "Don't give up the ship flag," and so on. It was their historical weekend, which is the weekend following Labor Day weekend every year up there, where they have a commemoration, living history exhibits at the National Historic Landmark up there, the Perry Victory and International Peace Column Monument. And we visited that, and some other things around the Port Clinton area in northwestern Ohio. So come along and enjoy the living history part of our trip, and we'll share some other experiences along on this camping trip with you in future videos. So don't forget to click the thumbs up icon if you like it, and we'd love to have you subscribe and come back and see us again. PutinBay is on South Bass Island, accessible by ferry from a village called Catawba Island at the tip of a peninsula on Lake Erie's southern shore. Driving east from the direction of Toledo on Ohio Route 2, just past Port Clinton, we'll take exit 124 for Route 53 north, which will take us to the ferry. The Erie-Ottawa Regional Airport and the Liberty Aviation Museum, a subject of a future video, is to the left at the traffic light ahead. The first couple of miles were a bit congested by the usual commercial strip, but we were soon driving on a relatively open road, arriving at Catawba Island after a 10 to 15 minute drive. The ferry landing was directly ahead as we entered the town, but we meandered through the neighborhood until we found a space in one of the cost-free satellite parking areas that was an easy 5 to 10 minute walk from the ticket office. It's also possible to take your RV or tent and camp at 2 commercial campgrounds or South Bass Island State Park. But it is less expensive, though somewhat time-consuming, to camp on the mainland and commute by ferry. Tickets for pedestrians were $8 per adult one way, and they're available online or at the window. Ferries sailed every 30 minutes, and it was about a 15-minute ride to the dock at South Bass Island. The dock is called Lime Kiln Dock because of this lime kiln, which is nicely preserved and still in great shape. PutinBay is a couple of miles east on the south shore of the island from here, and you can rent golf carts from several vendors clustered around the top of the ramp, or you can do what we did and take a shuttle bus for a few dollars, and if your plans call for sightseeing beyond the restaurant and historical district in downtown PutinBay, you can rent a golf cart in the village itself. Before deciding on whether to rent a golf cart, we took a guided tour of the island on the tour train, which lasts about an hour. Our well-informed driver/guide pointed out key sites like the Beer Barrel Saloon. In the Guinness Book of Records, it has the world's longest bar at 405 feet and 10 inches. The historic 100-year-old Colonial Inn once occupied the site, but it burned to the ground in 1988. The PutinBay Winery occupies the former home of Valentine Dollar, a German immigrant and one of the first entrepreneurs on the island who arrived in the 1880s. The vineyards are on his estate land nearby. Tours of the house are available. We also enjoyed the neat little residence that lined our route. This seemed to be a very nice place to live. The Aquatic Visitor Center seemed worth a visit too, but would have to wait for our next visit. The tour train starts and ends at the Shuttle Bus Station, just across the town's main street, Delaware Avenue, from the Perry's Victory and International Peace Memorial Visitor Center. The Visitor Center contains a large diorama of the Battle of PutinBay, with scale models of every American and British vessel, as well as other interpretive displays to illustrate how naval guns were mounted in ships and explain some of the technical and strategic aspects of the battle and its importance for the westward expansion of the United States. The central hall leads out onto park-like grounds with the massive Perry's Victory and International Peace Memorial column at the far end. This is where the History Days event commemorating Perry's victory is traditionally staged. The level of participation on this occasion was perhaps a bit more sparse than usual due to COVID, but it was still very well done. Civilian life in the 1810s was depicted on one side of the concrete walkway. Here, a woman in period dress was preparing her tape loom for making webbed belting, called tape in those days, for pack straps such as this example. Next door, a blacksmith was stoking his forge for the day's ironworking demonstrations. The military camp, such as it was on the other side of the walkway. It was interesting to see a U.S. soldier in a red coat in those days, but that was, and still is, the color of the artillery branch of the U.S. Army.
This is the 2nd United States Artillery, Cushing's Company specifically. We were stationed at Fort Meigs in northwest Ohio here, and happy to come over to the Bay this weekend for the history. So.
Green sleeves was my joy. Green sleeves was my life. Green sleeves touched my heart. Oh, but my lady,
We had a great time listening to and chatting with folk singer Bob Ford, whose rendition of Greensleeves and adaptations we particularly enjoyed.
Come away with me, and I'll build you a home there. Come, there's a wondrous land for the hopeful heart, for the willing hand. Come, there's a wondrous land, I'll build you a home there.
The big event, though, was the live artillery demonstration, and I really looked forward to seeing and hearing the 32-pounder carronade, an especially vicious 18th century naval cannon designed for short-range battering of wooden ships fired. It was impressive, but something happened to corrupt my GoPro's disc, so I'll just have to resort to voice cloud and sound effects for this video. Sorry. Of course, there's a lot of purely recreational stuff, of the eating, drinking, t-shirt shopping, and aquatic sports varieties to do in PutinBay and on the rest of South Pass Island. We enjoyed a short walk on a kiddie trail with a nursery rhyme theme. There's Goldilocks, breaking and entering, although she apparently found the door unlocked, so in some states that's not breaking and entering. And of course, she wasn't looting, she was just finding stuff that she needed. Somebody's been lying in my bed. Very nicely done. It's a nice place to bring your small children, and a place that's more or less oriented toward swimming and partying and having a good time out on the lake. Nice to have a thing for a little trail for bringing small children to be able to run through the woods and burn off some of that excess energy. Created by Ann Ferguson of the Montpelier, Vermont, and developed in collaboration with the Kellogg-Hubbard Library. And on another short trail that ended in a nice view of the lake. All in all, we had a great 2 days on the island. And I even found this spiffy COVID mask at the Historical Society's antique consignment store. I hope you enjoyed this video about the historical side of PutinBay and South Pass Island, and we'll look at more of my videos. Thanks for watching. Please click the thumbs up icon to like the video and share with your friends via email or social media. I'd love to have you subscribe, and if you do, please click the little bell icon so you'll get notifications whenever I post a new video. Goodbye.